holidays are a varied and diverse time of year, and we all seek different ways to recapture or resurrect this feeling in our minds. The Christmas spirit, if you will. The one thing that's always managed to bring me that Yuletide mirth has always been this. But the other great pleasure that I take during the holiday seasons is revisiting old Christmas movies. Everyone has their own favorites that they like to jump back to, but I think there's one group that seems to have amassed a massive share of the films worth talking about, even decades after they went silent. That being Rankin Bass Productions. Rankin Bass was a collaborative effort between Arthur Rankin Jr. and Jules Bass, which was formed in September 1960. But they're best known for making a series of stop-motion Christmas movies which have become so iconic and beloved that they've reshaped how we look at the holiday season. I love these movies. They immediately represent everything about Christmas. They're so eccentric and fantastical that they're always a blast to watch. But most of all, I'm fascinated by them because they were my very first cinematic universe. You're understanding that correctly. Most or many of the Rankin Bass holiday specials are purposefully set in the exact same universe. There are Easter eggs that directly connect them all together, rhythms to how everything is presented which marks a consistent direction, and the intention was that audiences would come to recognize these patterns in the same way that we would something like the MCU. Alright, so there's one movie I wanted to touch base with here, just to fully solidify my stance that all of these movies are set in the same universe. That being Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July. This movie starts off with a long retelling of the entire history of the Rankin Bass universe, which retcons many of the elements of various films to have been caused by an unseen conflict behind the scenes. It would seem that long ago there was once an evil wizard named Winterbolt who ruled the North Pole and was so vicious that no life dared live there. This was until one day he met a force much greater than his own, that of Lady Borealis. Yes, it would appear that the Northern Lights, the Aurora Borealis, is actually a fully sentient and omnipotent being who takes human form to punish Winterbolt for his cruelty by sentencing him to a long sleep. In the centuries that pass following this, Lady Borealis leads the Kringle Elves to the north, as well as Chris himself eventually, both events which took place in Santa Claus's Coming to Town. However, one day the power of Lady Borealis fades, and Winterbolt rises from his sleep. On this exact same day, Mrs. Donner gives birth to a healthy buck and rests following the event. Miss Borealis appears to him and gives to him the power of a glowing nose, under the strict condition that he can only ever use it for good.
Oh, what was that? Was someone here?
Aurora Borealis?
Aurora Borealis!